Beyond the world we know is a place where reality bends and time stands still. A place where legends, fairy tales, and nightmares are real. A world where legends are born and destinies collide. Alice has spent her life lost in an interdimensional rift known as Wonderland, and it forged her into a deadly bounty hunter. With her ancient clockwork guardian Big Ten by her side, they hunt the things that stalk the shadows of Wonderland. Alice Lost in Wonderland, issues 1 and 2 launch May 6 on Kickstarter. Follow along at GoMrFish.com.
And ladies and gentlemen, Mal and Tavian.
Yo.
Of Atomic Annie. Live. Go.
All right.
Well, hello, hello. Welcome to
Whoops.
Madness Comic Network and the Madness Entertainment Group on other channels. This is sorry about my feedback, but
No worries.
we are now Madness Comic Network. Let's see. We got Atomic Annie here. We got Mal, this guy right here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. We got Tavian.
Hey guys,
How you doing, Tavian?
doing all right? How y'all?
What's going on, guys? So
Good times.
Yeah.
yeah, it
Tavian
is.
standing behind his freaking spaceship.
Look at this thing, man. Wires
Yeah,
for
this is-
days, man.
This is my synth rig.
Man.
Tavian was actually able to massively downsize the amount of cables recently, and then he used them all again.
Yeah,
Did you get
So-
that new synth in
I
installed?
did, and it's really weird.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be good, but it's got a learning curve for sure.
yeah,
Behringer Spice, really cool toy, but strange.
yeah.
All right. So Atomic Annie. How did Atomic Annie come to be? Let's get a little background on these guys.
Oh wow.
The
So
origin.
when did y'all meet? When did y'all meet? How did this come about? What is this
we
awesomeness?
met like in 03 or 04. Didn't really start working together until like 07, I want to say. I was working on a composition. I was working on a project where basically I was writing music for hire. I mean, it's soup to nuts, recording everything, performing everything, mixing, mastering everything myself to provide a soundtrack for a high quality blade manufacturer. And think music to go along with big burly men hacking through sides of beef with swords.
Yummy. Wow.
And I had
Yeah.
a tight deadline coming up and a big project. I had about a month to write 11 3-minute instrumentals and get them fully produced.
Yep.
And so I'm not a guitarist. I learned tricks on how to record like really riffy metal by like taking those Velcro cable straps and tying off the strings that I wasn't playing so that they wouldn't ring because I don't know how to mute.
Yeah.
But I could go dugga 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 dugga, you know, because I'm a bassist. And so anyway, I was like, I can't do 11 of these. So, hey, honey, you remember that guy I met a few years ago? He mentioned something about playing guitar. Do you know how to get in touch with him?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Mal shows up at my house to come into my studio. You know, we've never worked together before. And so he comes in with a million riffs in his head, which is fantastic.
Yep.
And we end up somehow getting all of them into one piece of music. And at that point, you know, I'd been doing music for about 20 years in various bands, 25 years in various bands and projects. At that point, it was the best piece of music I'd ever worked on. And that's when I knew we had something special. And so Mal and I have been working together doing that kind of stuff, that kind of corporate work for hire stuff since then. And then once that kind of dried up, you know, we stayed friends and just played music together. And then about 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, we started streaming our just for fun jam sessions where we would just, Mal would come up with a lick and I would just slowly build stuff around it. And that's really how the stream started, was everything built from scratch on stream. And it was a fun concept and it worked for a while, but we started realizing I think people would just enjoy it more if we had a little bit more pre-production put in.
Yep.
And so, you know, the last couple years, the bare bones we start with are have a little more flesh on them, but we still are improvising our butts off the whole show. But yeah, that's it all in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I want to hear Mal's side of the story.
Yeah,
because there's always two sides of this venture we got going on here. Let's go,
So,
Mal.
so there's this weird dorky guy that called me, right? He said, "Hey, so I hear you can play guitar. Do you think you might be able to do some metal stuff?" Right? And so my version, and and I'm totally kidding about the dorky guy. We're both kind of dorks, but anyway.
Yeah, nerds.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, man, I can play some stuff. So what is it that you need? And his version there just sounded, and that is what he said to me, many years ago. It's that almost verbatim. Dude's got a memory like a vice. But what I heard was, I need you to come up with 11 songs, right? Not because so much he didn't say that, and I was unaware that he said that. It's just every musician I had ever worked with actually couldn't write anything, right? So I just ended up writing everything for everyone up until that point. And so I show up, I walk in with way too much gear in hand, and I just start being like, okay, so this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, right? And he's like, "Well, hold on, let's see this riff right here." I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." He's like, "That's great. Look, can we try it just with this, line 6 amplifier?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, that's fine." And played it, and then he added something cool to it, right? And then I said, well, not all the riffs that I had prepped here are going to work necessarily with that, but these over here will. And you just gave me another idea, and we ping ponged like crazy. Right. And we made the deadline barely, but we made it. And worked our asses off on it. And it was good. It was fun.
Between then and 2009, we did what? 5 projects like that, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was a total of about 70. I want maybe, yeah, 50 to 60 pieces of music that we wrote. The last project was 9 3-minute tunes, and on the calendar we had 2 weeks to do it. But we both also have day jobs and other lives. And I did the math later. We somehow knocked out those 9 3-minute instrumentals in about 18 hours of studio time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. How's my am I still getting preamp distortion?
A little
Not
bit.
nearly as bad.
Not as bad.
Okay. All right, yeah, got it. Well, if I'm too low in the mix, then somebody will have to mix it up on
Good.
there.
Like, okay, so the first video you played, it was a little low. The second one, when it started playing, it was extra loud. So it's
What the heck?
good. It's good for that second video when you get ready.
Oh, okay. Well, the volume of my voice is something totally separate. I'm
Your
using up.
volume is fine.
Yeah,
It's
right on.
perfect. Yours
Cool.
and Tavian just needs to speak directly into the mic instead of not the side of the mic. There you
I
go.
got to remember to be right
That'll
on.
be perfect, right in front of it. That'll be fine.
It's almost like we've been doing this for so many years that we just can't remember the basics sometimes.
Oh man, you guys are awesome, dude. All right,
Thanks.
so let's get another song in here.
Well,
Let's go
actually, so before we do that, if you don't
all
mind,
right.
I'd like
Sure.
to talk a little
Go
bit
ahead.
about
Your
that
floor.
song. So that song was heavily side on me, right? Of course, Tavian fleshed that thing out and made it, he did what he did. But that was me on voice on that one. And my daughter was kind of playing Atomic Annie. Atomic Annie is, maybe someday we'll be able to make Atomic Annie into a proper
I have
comic book.
so many ideas. I
Right.
just wish I could write and or draw.
Yeah. We've got ideas, but somebody else is going to have to handle the whole
Actually making it into a comic.
Yeah, graphic. No, I was considering actually taking on that task, but I'm building guitars, running a real life business, and doing Atomic Annie now. I don't have time.
Yeah.
I have time to have conversations with people and tell them what I think it should be, and maybe somebody else can help us and run with it. Yeah. But making that video was an experience. It's the only one with a bunch of actual film of me and my daughter and stuff that was filmed, post outside of the studio where Tavian is standing now. And so I learned a lot with that thing. I learned that doing video prep like that is like probably 60 hours. Like that, it actually takes a long time to get it all edited. That's the main problem. And but yeah, it was cool. It was fun. Yeah, I just wanted to chat a little bit about that.
Sure, man. Yeah.
Well, which piece should we play out of our remixes, Octavian?
Oh man, what's a good one?
I don't want to just go in order.
Let me think for a second. I kind of like what's the name of it?
It's a hard choice for me too.
Yeah.
It's
You know what? Why don't you just play Cherry Blossom? That's such a good one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's classical.
Yeah.
Lots of people like it very much.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Where'd you go, Cherry Blossom?
There we go. Let's see.
Looking
Man, we've
for
made
it.
a lot of
This-
music.
Did I miss it? Seriously? There it is.
Got it? Full screen. There we go.
All right, so
All
that's
right, all right. Good stuff, guys. Man,
Cool.
why has it got to
fantastic.
do that?
Why's it got to autoplay all the time?
I know.
Okay, so I got a quick question for you guys. So who makes most of your art on your, because I know it's kind of generated, but
Sure.
who makes it? Like people, do you make it, Mel? Do you make it, Tavia? Do other people make it? What where do you get some of this stuff? It looks fantastic.
Most of it would be me.
Okay.
Uh,
There's a couple of still Annies that I used, AI to generate, but mostly it's all been Mal. And even then, he would take the Annie and then do something with it. But
Yeah.
it's 90% Mal.
It's still not
Few
just
fans have chipped in, especially for the live streams, the
Yeah.
video art that we run during the live streams.
I mean,
That's,
I've heard you mention some names in your lives, so
Yeah.
just saying. Not that they made that art, but so
No,
other
none
people
of
make
that.
your art for you, right? Generally, and you take that and make fancy, videos and
Sometimes,
things, right?
sometimes people make art for us. Like I did the vast majority of it. But I've been, visual artist since I was a kid. In fact, the thing that I wanted to grow up to be when I was like, 12 was a comic book artist. Don't you know? So it's
Oh,
kind of,
don't you know, eh?
yeah, don't you know? So, uh, but yeah, more and more art is being made by Scarlet B, and Charlie Studios as well. A couple others would be Dodgers has helped with particularly some thumbnail art, and definitely gave me some coaching on that. Um, and geez, I feel like I'm missing somebody. Somebody else has been a
I
common
know a guy
contributor.
that helps sometimes.
Oh, well, Mikey. Yeah, sort of Michael.
Yeah, he helps
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. He's done a few things. In fact, if you've ever seen a replay show of ours, the whole TV wasteland thing, essentially I asked him to help with that. And I came up with some parts, and then he tweaked it and made it cooler. So yeah, that's the art. Actually, yeah, it'd be mostly me using AI. Now AI, all the AI image generations are more convoluted than they were when they were in the beginning. So I'm
Right.
hardly doing it anymore at all. The last say 8 months.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, no, I'm not going to sit down for 3 hours tweaking settings to get the same thing I could get in 5 minutes,
Right.
a year ago. So,
But Mal,
So
it's better
y'all
now,
make
don't you know?
you guys make all the music though. All the
Yeah.
music comes from your brain,
yes,
correct? Correct.
100%.
Right.
100%.
Mhm.
Every guitar lick, every bass line, keyboard part. I don't even reuse any of my own drum loops. I program each beat
Yep.
note
Right.
for note for every tune, every show.
Boom, boom, cha. Boom, boom, cha.
Yeah,
Just like
that's where
you
a lot of them
start out with
start.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Get the basic groove, and then you
Gotcha.
throw in the handwork beyond the snare.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tavian's favorite word there for a while was ostinato.
Yeah, the ostinato beat is the doon
yeah.
doon ticka pa pa ticka doon doon ticka ta ta ticka doon, which we
And
use
it
that a
sounds
lot.
awesome.
It's just got a good groove to it.
It does.
Does.
It does. It does. So, all right. So, do you want to get into song or you want to get into more about Atomic Annie here? Let's go.
Well, I will say this, like I am open to never having to produce a visual piece of art for any video ever again. Right.
If anyone
Uh,
wants
So,
to step
so there might be an opportunity for people out there to
absolutely.
fancy up the video
Yeah. Yeah.
for some.
That's right. It's not that, I can put oil on canvas. I mean, I can do art, right? But
Yeah.
who has days and days to Pops might even know a couple artists. I noticed.
There's a few out there that could do some pretty
Uh,
snuffy stuff. I'm telling you,
yeah,
they're
it's
pretty
just
good
video editing. The task of video editing is not my most favorite. That's really the problem. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be a video editor. I don't really want to be an audio engineer either. I just really want to play my guitar.
Yeah, I like a guitar every now and then.
All right. Let's see here. How about something completely different?
Sure.
Let's see. I played that one last show. Sorry, I click my tongue when I'm feeling extra obnoxious.
That's his thinking noise.
Oh God, my thinking noise. The sound of my brain working.
You guys are gonna fit in perfect around here.
Oh Lord Almighty! I'm not sure that was a
thought bubble
compliment.
above his head. Click, 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 click.
Oh Lordy! You know what? I'm gonna do a long one so I can go smoke. How about that?
Okay.
Let's go. All right.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go? All right, yeah. No, not that one. Yeah, let's do appliance. There we
Yeah,
go.
appliance is pretty cool.
Wait.
Yeah, appliance starts out with a generative modular loop. Yeah, very cool.
It does. All right,
Here
good to
we
go,
go.
Ghoster.
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
Venus. Venus.
I'm not sure what happened there. I'm texting him.
Just it paused itself.
Yeah, no.
Stand by, folks, while we unpause the pause. Crom. It's Crom. I knew it was Crom. Crom did it again.
Apologies, guys. I have no.
It was
freaking clue how
Crom.
that
It's
happened.
fine. We do it was Crom. He did it again. We'll
right.
it. There we go.
There we go. Sorry.
Why? Thank you. Fantastic, guys.
Oh, Mal's got autoplay on. He hadn't made it back yet. There he is.
I'm back. I'm back.
Hey, be clicking.
where-
His clicker ain't clicking.
I'm clicking it. I'm clicking
All right,
it now.
click. All right, there we go. He clicked it. All right. So next question. So Mal and Tavian, where do you guys think you could take this Atomic Annie? Do you think you could actually take this live on tour one day? Maybe.
If you're paying.
I'll pay. Well, if I paid, I mean, would you do that? Would you? I mean, would you actually
We've
go that far away?
considered it.
You know,
I mean,
it's one of those things.
even local, like with some, could you move your rig?
That's
Tavian?
the real
That's-
concern is
that's-
is
I
this
mean-
is not the most portable rig.
I understand.
No.
Understand.
I'd
Yeah.
have to really think about changing the changing it quite a bit to make it more modular, just as far as being able to assemble and disassemble and reassemble more easily. But I mean, it's if there were, if it were worth it, we wouldn't necessarily say no.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah, it's
That's
as far as your
dream.
rig, Tavian, I would think that honestly we would just build like 3 cabinets and duplicate everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right, lots of prep time, and your rig just gets moved right in 3 cabinets that have like drawers that I would build the cabinets for you.
Mm-hmm.
just put it on wheels like a giant piano.
What
Wheel
what
it
is
in,
not possible is moving what Tavian has in the studio to anywhere else. Like we're just never going to do that. It would basically I don't know $10,000 or something. Yeah, it could be
Right.
done
I mean,
on Tavian's.
$20,000, right? You could probably like duplicate the thingy.
Yeah.
Let me do this.
Tavian switched
duplicate-
cameras to
You
show
duplicate
what
the
all he's got.
thing. This giant awesomeness. You could duplicate that live on stage somewhere. like at a festival or some kind of local event,
Uh,
you wouldn't even want to move it for like a local event. You want to move that for like showing up. I mean, this is not. Look at this thing. Look at
yeah.
even.
I built the tabletop that all that's sitting on there. I'm gonna have to rebuild that though because I'm a much better woodworker now.
He's gonna build it out of solid purple wood.
That's right, Purple Heart.
Purple heart
Yeah.
wood, solid.
Yeah, you heard me talking about that lately. Yeah, that's I'm building a guitar for myself. That's somewhat of a clone, a inspired by my Strandberg that I have right now that I play on all Atomic Annie stuff, and it's being built out of Purple Heart, and Curly Maple combo. Very pretty stuff. I look forward to finishing that.
Pretty. I wonder
Yeah.
how purple heart smells when it cuts.
Well, I tell you, it has a very distinctive smell.
I bet.
It smells like purple.
Okay, there we go. That's a distinct smell. I guarantee you.
It smells of purple. It's the only thing that my brain could think of. I'm like, what is this smell? Like what do I even? It's kind of a little bit like the markers when you're a kid, like the synthetic grape of the purple marker, right? They made them like scented for some reason, so kids would like sniff markers. I think that's what's wrong with our generation. And
I sniffed a marker or two.
and I'm like, but it's kind of like a sour version of that. I personally don't think that Purple Heart smells good. I don't think it smells bad, but it just doesn't smell good. Like
pine.
Bolivian.
Not gonna get you a girlfriend like pine.
No,
Pine will get you a
Bolivian
girlfriend,
rosewood
bro.
smells like perfume. Like for real, it smells wonderful. My shop is covered in it right now. I didn't even vacuum today just because I like the way it smells. It's a giant mess. I'll have to take photos and post it later. I mean,
Save all your sawdust. Look, save all your sawdust and mix it with glue, and that's how you fix your stuff.
yeah. All right. Yeah.
There you go.
We're gonna build you a house out of the sawdust I have in bags in my garage. There,
That'd be fine as long as I got a house. Sooner or later, I'll get me a house.
nice. But yeah, no, it's very cool, the craft there. But yeah, I'm gonna build something super cool for that. It's a tabletop. It's not that hard.
I love the smell of electric wires and wood cutting in the morning.
Yeah,
My coffee.
no, you do.
It's gonna be nice.
Better than napalm, even.
Yeah, well, I don't know what napalm smells like, but
Well,
I'll take
it
your
almost
word
sounded
for it.
like
Probably
it
just
almost sounded like
gasoline.
you were doing a quote from Apocalypse Now.
Okay. There you go. All right, so we got more awesomeness from Atomic Annie, I bet. Rick
Yeah.
Ross got something.
Davian, you remember the song you were trying to think of?
Mm-mm.
Something slip drive.
Oh, okay, yeah. 0 Point Slip Drive.
That's it. I kept wanting to say something about quantum, and I knew that wasn't in there. But
I was feeling I was feeling rather sci-fi at the moment when I made this one. But yeah, it's good. It's goodly. I've got it queued up.
Goodly. Mute.
Autoplay.
Clickety click,
Sorry.
clickety
Sorry.
click.
I couldn't
All right.
figure out how to turn it off earlier, so I was trying to get it, but I didn't. I'm a professional. So that one was a combination.
I'm not. I'm just clicking buttons. Here we go.
Yeah. It was a combination of me and Scarlett on the video on the last one.
Right.
And a little bit of Sword of Michael, actually. As well.
Actually.
Yeah.
There we go. Nice.
Yeah. He did some stills that I animated.
So, all right. I want to know about Atomic Annie lore. So, how did we get this name, Atomic Annie? How do we settle on this? We settle on this? Why? Why? Let's go. Let's go.
Well, the origin of the name and the lore of the character are two separate things entirely.
Yeah.
So I was in a chat, and the backroom chats. And there was this old man. He was born in Scotland, came to America when he was 18 years old, and he talks like this. Right? I shit you not. That's
Nice.
pretty spot on impersonation, and I mean that with all respect. The man sounds like 10 times the grizzled warrior that Uncle Argyle was from Braveheart, right? And
Nice.
seriously, just a great guy too. We get along swimmingly, me and him. And I don't remember what we were talking about. Something to do with World War II stuff, and somebody posted a GIF of a atomic blast, right? And he goes, "Yep, that was the M65, otherwise known as the Atomic Annie, which was a mobile nuke launcher." I'm like, "Huh, what now?" And so I got myself an education on that. That was super cool. Kind of just a big flex was that video, that little B-roll that America released to the world.
For
But
those who didn't quite catch, it is basically like a trailer mounted cannon, like a howitzer or something,
yeah,
but it shoots nukes.
yeah, little ones.
For Fallout fans, it's like the mini nuke. It's like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So I was like, so what? Who named it the Atomic Annie? He said, well, the soldiers did, and this was in the 50s. I'm like, them boys really knew how to name something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that would make a great band name. Next band I do, I told this old Pictish man, I said, that will be the name of the next band I'm in. And so floated it by Tavy, and he was like, I love it. I'm like, right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the origin of the name.
And then, yeah, as far as the lore goes, it's just slowly evolved. The basic idea is she's a young woman named Anastasia Harmon, and she is a research scientist, grad student, and what she doesn't know is there is a mysterious organization in the background known only as the Octave. And it's keeping an eye on her because it knows something about her, but it's not quite sure what. But the conductor has decided that not only does Annie have to go, but all Annies across the multiverse have to go. Something's going to happen that's going to destroy all of reality if they don't eliminate this target. So one night, Annie's in her lab working, and right as she's activating the experiment she's working on, the Octave does what they're going to do, and the quantum convergence event occurs. Essentially, all Annies across all multiverses, or across the multiverse, converge into our Annie, and she becomes the Atomic Annie, the one and only. And she doesn't know what's happened to her, but she's developed. Really, she only has one ability. She's developed, and it starts out very uncontrollable at first, the ability to slip across the membranes, across the brains. between realities. And when she appears in a different reality, she essentially becomes that reality's Annie, what would have been. So she takes on all her memories, all her special abilities, whether they're just mundane or supernatural, she takes them on. And as she slips from reality to reality, she maintains those powers. So she eventually becomes an extremely powerful being. Along the way, she encounters Glitch, her nemesis. Glitch is always showing up at the wrong moment to throw a monkey wrench in everything. And the story is further developed from there, but that would be spoilers. So, but
Yeah.
that's the basic idea.
Oh my, what a story. Oh,
Yeah, that would be
There-
me and
there-
Tavian's.
There's a
collab
device
there.
called the Liar that the
Mal has an axe, though. He has a big axe he swings.
yeah. But yeah, there's a device called the Liar that the Octave controls, and it helps them tune reality.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's
Does the axe cut through sound waves? I think the axe kind of cuts through the sound waves.
Well, I definitely want a reality where Annie meets me and Tavian, and it's the sword. It's the knight and the wizard because
sort of Michael's story that he's been doing.
well,
Yeah,
yeah,
It's
yeah. I mean,
similar. It's
he, he
similar.
he only did that bit and then he
Oh, okay.
moved on. But yeah.
Ideas.
No, actually, that was my idea. That wasn't sort of Michael's.
I didn't say it was his. I said ideas. There you go.
Right on. Good times, man. But yeah, that's the lore. That's the blueprint.
And
for
that is fantastic, guys. I
Story.
mean, you got a whole lore behind your character of your band. I mean, nobody has this. No, nobody.
Well, I wouldn't
This
say
is
no.
fantastic.
No, not
I
nobody.
mean-
There's a couple of really good ones that are.
I don't want to give them credit for nothing. I say Tom Kenny. Like,
Right on.
nobody but
Well, I mean-
Tom Kenny has this. Back them.
Fair enough.
We got to give Claudio a little credit on Cody and Cambria because he has a whole comic line that
Yeah,
goes
we
with
know,
it. So-
we know.
Yeah.
This is
But then there's also the Deer Hunter. There's a whole
Yeah.
lore that goes with that.
it's a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff. I'll be the ghost in your.
Ghost is going to mute us.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna unmute you when other people do. That's me.
Tom's playing.
I just float in and unmute you. You don't even know where it came from. All right, man. So we got that song. Tom Candy queued up.
How about the Void War?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, I thought. What about It's Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. You want a
Is it
twofer?
though? Is it
want-
okay?
You want a twofer? Can you twofer?
I can twofer.
We could.
All right. That's twofer.
All right.
All right.
Let's go.
They say you are gone now, it's okay. It's okay.
They say you are gone now, it's okay. They say you are gone now, it's okay. They say you are gone now, it's okay. They say you are gone now, it's okay.
clicked it.
You what, a twofer or not?
Yes.
Okay, so we can do a twofer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Twofer.
Gosh.
Twofer, and we were talking in the back room over here, trying to figure out what we're gonna do, Mal. What are you talking about? Cook a twofer.
All right, my bad. Coming right up.
You'd think I was running the show. I ain't. Mal's running now.
I'm kind of used
He's
to
doing
it.
his stuff.
All right, we're gonna do
He's doing
7th
that.
level. Here we go.
Okay, let's go. Straight fire from Atomic Annie, people. That was straight fire, man.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Thank you,
like it.
brother.
I know I like it.
That.
I mean, so what's the plans for Atomic Annie? What do we see these two fine gentlemen doing in the future with this Atomic Annie? What are we gonna do?
Keep making beautiful music, man, to the best of my ability.
We're going to be one thing we're going to be doing. We've yet to actually get it all set up, but we're going to be putting a couple of cameras in Mal's shop, and he's going to be streaming pretty often, just kind of day in the life in Mal's shop
Oh yeah.
streams, and then I'm going to try to start if I can find the time. I'm going to try some nightly streams beyond our normal Thursday night live show of just experimenting with modular.
You guys do this anyway. You plug wires, you make guitars anyway.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why not just maybe, letting us take a peek
Yeah.
at some of the stuff you guys are doing? Don't tell us all your secrets. I mean, geez, we don't want to know them all, every last secret you got. No, just want to know some of it.
Sure.
Show us. I mean,
Yeah.
Atomic Annie, look at these things they build. It's fantastic. I mean, we need to know more about
Thanks,
Atomic Annie. Let's see.
I tell you got to get Tavian just speaking modular. Just get him going and tell him not to dumb it down. And it sounds like like the best sci-fi, like babble that writers ever came up with.
Yes,
That sounds
it
legit.
does. A lot of it really
actually
does
is
sound like
legit.
Star Trek technobabble.
It does. Yeah, technobabble. That was the one. That's the term I was looking for. Yeah, honestly, it's extremely cool. Extremely cool tech. Yeah, my the garage project is 2 to 4 weeks out, and getting that going. It's just time. It's just time issue.
We got 2 to 4 weeks. That's fine.
Well, come on over.
We're gonna come over to Mal's. I'm gonna sweep
Yeah.
up all the sawdust. I'm gonna keep
Yes,
it for
sir.
myself. I'm not letting you have none of the sawdust. None.
It's all yours,
Keeping
Ghost.
it all for myself. Tavian, look, I need some of that. Show me how to plug my wires in perfectly. because I'm telling
It's a
you,
method.
this is
you
a
think.
it's an art to this.
Yeah.
To plugging in your wires perfectly, it's art. Trust me. When I tell you, look at. Wait a minute. Hold on. Look at this. Look at it. Look at this right here. You want to plug all them wires in? Look at that. It's an art. That's art, people.
Show him the hub
Look at this.
modular. Gosh, what's it
You
called?
think that ain't fancy? Get you
That's
some.
fancy.
You do yours. Yeah, show me yours. That is fancy. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Got him. Look at that.
You know,
So-
some of the most complex stuff is the backboard there to Tavian's right hand.
Yeah, quit covering it up and stuff. Show us fancy. Look at that.
That's some of the most complicated. But what looks super complicated is the stuff on the left, bottom left of the screen. Yeah. No, it's the 2600 that looks complicated. It looks like spaceship stuff, man. But it's funny. That ain't nearly as complicated as that back wall unit.
He's shooting a bird at us. He's telling us to go fuck ourselves. We're
Oh,
not,
no, I
never
was-
gonna learn. We're
I
never
was
gonna learn.
wiping
Let's come
wiping
help-
dust off the damn
Help him
thing.
come wipe dust,
You have to
and you'll
use
learn.
only that finger, though,
It was the one that would fit in between the faders.
buddy.
Come wipe dust, and you can learn my technique. There you go.
Yeah.
Wipe my dust.
Yeah, this over here on my left is the Behringer 2600, and it's a reproduction of a classic 70s era synth, 70s 80s era synth, and it is one of my favorite things I've ever bought. I just love this thing. It sounds so good. About 90% of my leads are done on it now. I used to have leads over here on this pad system, or on this pad group. And now I'm pretty much exclusively right here and just subtle tweaks on this guy, and I've got a whole different lead sound. It's just amazing.
That right hand be catching a groove now
Yeah.
and then. I seen it in action. He be adding in the left hand. Oh boy, oh boy.
That 4x4 pad just kind of unlocked and leveled up Tavian too.
Oh boy.
It was always
It-
good, but
It
that
really
thing just,
did.
That thing just works with your brain, bro.
Yeah, and it really locked in a ton of music theory that I was a good 75 to 80% there on the theory, and then this thing just just locked it in. There's something about the way it lays out. It just makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Go, man. I mean,
It's also handy that you can tune it to a scale so you don't hit out of scale notes, which is nice.
Yeah.
one thing I have realized
That's
by
the crux.
watching people like Atomic Annie, people like the folks that draw on this stream, the Madness Entertainment Group, is art comes in many forms, and this is a very, very eccentric form of art. These people don't just they didn't just happen to just know this stuff. They have toned this to a perfection that is fantastic. I mean, you watch it and you think, oh, it's okay. Try it yourself. These people do stuff that is extraordinary. This is not just your regular, you know.
Thank you, Ghost.
I mean, for real.
That,
I mean,
that means a lot, man. Thank you.
so you should back people like this. People that go over and above. They have lives, they have jobs, they have all this stuff, and they still manage to do. Look what this man built. You should back it, people. You should back it. There you
Thank
go.
you, buddy.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm here, man. Show you I love you guys. I love the madness. Let's play another song. What you guys got?
Well, I've got a more like a full length performance queued up.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's this is a tune called Blackout. This was the second time we ever did it. Whoa!
Uh-oh.
Why did it
Wasn't me
start
th-
playing?
Wasn't me this time.
I did
I know
that.
it just started playing.
I
That's
just
weird.
added it. It's already playing.
Yeah,
Well,
that's odd.
Tavian's gonna share his screen, I guess.
Right.
No,
It's-
I loaded up a video. I guess, yeah, if you hover over it, it starts playing. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll just leave it right there for now. I was going to explain a little. Yeah. So we performed this in year 3 at one point for the first time. Little bit of background on how we do things. So we'll typically spend a Tuesday evening about an hour or so getting like the basics of an A section down. And then we'll come in Wednesday night and usually spend, because we had a little more time on Wednesday nights, we'll spend a few hours getting that A section polished and then building a B. And then Thursday night is the show. So Thursday night we get in, we pick a couple of tunes that we've done from a previous show, call those up, and then the third tune is the new one for the week. And that's Thursday night is usually the first time we play it. We run through a couple of little bits here and there on the other nights, but it's a very fresh performance every time we do one of these. So year 3 was the first time. Mal had laid in some vocals, and then when we came back to do it the second time, Mal's daughter laid in some vocals, and when I heard those, I was like, "Ooh, I want to add some in too." And so this is the second time through, and this has some. When the vocals come in on the A4, kind of the chorus, it's a really nice blend of like two Mal's. 2 of Mal's daughter and 2 of me, and so it's just a really cool blend. So yeah, let's see if this will play from the beginning now.
Okay. Atomic Annie, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I gotta get my damn fire extinguisher. Hold on, damn minute. Hold on. Oh my goodness, guys. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
kindly.
All right.
Lots of very kind words in the pilled chat. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate it. That's one of my favorites that we've done in a while. That one for some reason there's just something about it. I just really dig that one. So I'm glad everyone likes it.
Yeah, man.
So
Good stuff.
I actually am going to have to call it for the night.
All
but
right.
bef-
So,
bef-
will you
bef-
plug your
yeah,
comic collection real
yeah.
quick?
So about
Plug a rig.
I guess we're coming up on 3 years almost. My goodness, very good friend of mine from b- early high school, and we've been friends ever since. Passed away unexpectedly, and he left his sister everything, including a gigantic comic book collection, the likes of which she had no idea what to do with. And I didn't want it to go in some estate sale for like $500 for the whole thing, because I know he's got some gold in there. I volunteered to help her get fair pricing on it. And it was kind of stupid of me to do that because, my God, I'm talking 20,000 individual comics, no repeats, full runs of classic writers and artists from the 80s and 90s. Um, I know there are at least dozens worth hundreds each in there somewhere,
Mhm.
but I don't even know where to begin. I've got some ideas on how to catalog them all, but I don't know where to begin in terms of moving the merchandise. And so, any kind of help the community out there. This is not for me. This is to get a fair inheritance for the sister of a dear friend of mine. So, anything that any information. That's really all I'm asking for.
So,
Is
if
information.
you have a comic book that you might be looking for, maybe reach out to Tavian, Chalk Tavian on Pilled. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah,
um, and you got this one, you got that one.
yeah, yeah. It's
You
going to
might
take
have
me a
the
while
whole.
because it's like about 100 long boxes full of bagged and board comics, bagged and boarded. Most of them, it's a comic on each side of the board.
Yeah.
And
I
so,
helped
yeah,
move them. It was
rough
many
math was
tons.
about 20,000, and most of them are in mint to near mint. But I got to go through them and figure out what's in there.
Yeah.
Let's
but
look up
but
a Pilled comic book sales place that we can
I know.
sell comic books on.
Yeah, Tavian, you could just become, the comic book guy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Open up a shop, bro.
It's a heck of a collection, and he was quite proud of it, and so I definitely want to try to get as much as I can. But
We
anyhow,
had to pick at Comic Network because we had to pick at buy our comics too. We got comics. We got comics.
Yep.
We got music too. Music. All my links comiccandy.com. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Not
And I think this is
Well-
where the comic book guy
Hey,
comes.
Pops.
hey, there you go.
guy. Oh, there he is.
The whole network began as a comic book thing. Okay. It started in a little tiny Facebook group called the Comic Related Madness. We used to just come out and hold up our books and go, look what I got. Look what I got. And, that was the whole group, right? And then COVID wiped everything out and it became a networking and promotional group for indie comic creators.
Right.
Cool.
And it became a network of all kinds of other stuff, and it's grown and grown and grown. But we do have a show on Sundays called The Show Offs. And basically, Dave and I both, most everything we show off is stuff that's available, but we don't really have a push as an auction house or anything like
Right,
that.
right.
Now, my boy Kaz has actually run an auction house before. If what I can remember correctly is true. And we've already talked about this before.
Is it on the wait? If it's cause it's on the moon, so you got to be on the moon to get cause's thing.
You hear what I'm
Just
saying?
saying.
Though. It's like this is stuff we've already talked about before for the network as part of our under the umbrella of the Madness Entertainment Group, an auction show, a straight direct sale show. We don't have one. We could have.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
these are all things that we've talked about for the future. I have about 7,000 comics, of which about 6,000 I can sell. But I don't have time to do that because I'm running a network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need a dedicated show to help people direct sell comic books.
To where people could pop on and off with their comics, just like, hey, I got an hour here. I can show off some of these things and those things
Well,
that
see,
they're for
but
sale.
the object isn't showing them off because we do that all the time. The object is bringing buyers to this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I don't deal with people that buy Marvel and DC comics. I deal with people that buy independent comics. I mean, that's
I
what
buy
our main
Flip
audience is,
I
right?
buy Flip City comics from time to time.
That's independent. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Our network is basically based on independent comics, but when it comes to building a comic auction house, that's going to cover any kind of comic that has a value that somebody's looking for, right? The
Yeah.
object there is to bring the paying fans, the people that want to buy comics, finding them and letting them know that we're doing this weekly show. And once we have established this is something we're doing, then it'll blow up just like everything else in the network.
It's like indie music, right? We're gonna call it indie music from now on. Atomic Annie. Indie music. We're gonna have our own indie music selling auction house. There we go.
He can call this music whatever he wants. All I know is that I thought it was going to be something I was going to have on in the background while I was working, and I caught myself walking around the room jamming.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And it was, and I'm serious. That was like, I was like, all right, this didn't turn out in any way like I thought it would. Now it's even blowing up even more because dude's got comics, people, comics for sale, full runs of comics, nice comics, old comics. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This is what I'm talking about. This whole network grew out of my love of
The
comics.
ghost brought it to you.
Love it.
You know what I mean? Woo-hoo-hoo.
This is amazing part of this is like there's a Comic-Con in Elkhart, Indiana in a couple weeks called the Hall of Heroes Comic-Con. And it's put on by the guy who owns the Hall of Heroes Museum, right? We're going to be there. But Jim Starlin is going to be there. And I'm going to be there with my Infinity Gauntlet 1 and my Infinity Crusade 1 and my Infinity Wars 1 and all those Warlock and all those Thanos and all those books that Jim Starlin wrote and created. Well, give me some autograph action.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I wish you had a CD of Atomic Annie just to give to him. That would be
Dude,
nice.
look, this is
Hey,
the whole thing.
Look,
This,
Tavian, can I get a CD? Or a little
Well,
glass jar with
Everything's on Bandcamp.
I got a little glass jar with a plug-in for my computer. I got one of those. Can we get more of those, Atomic Annie?
Quite
see,
possibly.
there's all kinds of beauty that comes out of this. Look, I've seen you guys jam for a while on your streams, and I don't mean to keep you longer than I know you said you needed to go, but I've seen you guys jam for a while, and I've noticed that the longer streams, when it comes to music, like Zoso, what he does, these guys, they get a lot of people watching, because they're out there jamming for a while, and people are just like digging it. This is the same way. When I was getting that, man, I could just listen to these guys all night, right? I was all set for you to do just play a show that you did before and just let it play, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I really hope that you guys consider doing something weekly with us on the network as well, because I really like what you do. And
Cool.
we might be able to help you unload some comics too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take a 15-minute segment out of your show and highlight one thing, not one, like one run, like, okay, I've got the New Mutants from 1 to 101, right? Or whatever.
The show on here. the show on here, not your show.
Right, just a small segment of your show every week because our audience is comic people.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't hurt for them to know what you got.
Yeah.
And we also have a group. We have the comic related Madness, which turned into the Madness Entertainment Group, and that's a networking promotion group. But we also have a group called the Comic Related Marketplace on Facebook, which is for direct sales. And you can just go take some pictures and go post them over there, and hit me up. Serious offers only, right? You don't even have to put any pricing in there or anything. Just post some pictures of what you got, of some of the stuff you got. Say, hey, yo, come talk to me.
Yeah.
And, don't let them know anything about what your value thoughts are. Because look, everything, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay.
Right. Yeah.
So I never talk money until I'm talking specific books first.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nail me down to what you want. Now we'll talk about what I have, what I think it's worth, whether it's worth that to you.
Yeah.
And deal individually with people. And that's, that's the best way.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
through the network, at least we know all these people.
Yeah.
And I want more Atomic Annie CDs and little thumb drives with a cork in the glass bottle.
I'll work on it, brother.
Mal knows what I'm talking about. You can just get fancy stuff in the mail from Atomic Annie. Plug it in.
You get these little thumb drives and put your music on them. You get the little smallest one so it's just enough space to hold your music, right? Just one. Put your music on them and you sell them to people. You give them to people or whatever.
Sure.
Probably cheaper than the CD, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put your little art, put your little art on it and everything, and sell.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Atomic Annie. Thank you, Pops. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for letting
Thank
this
you,
happen.
Ghost,
This is
for bringing them around, man.
man. These guys fit in perfectly around here. You'll fit in perfectly around them. I think these guys are awesome.
I like it, man.
Hope
Good
everybody
time.
enjoyed this. I did. So hope you did too.
If you are interested, we'll get you with Kaz and we'll get you set up in our EB Muck studio.
Okay.
Cool.
The audio might be a little better in StreamYard, and Kaz is way better with that tech stuff than I am anyway. So because your show is more tech oriented, I'd definitely rather you were setting up with him, or in the EV Mucks where he knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here. Sounds great, YouTube.
Yeah. We are sticklers for sound quality, but we're happy.
For sure. That's more
is what
important
it
to
is.
us than video, honestly.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's
Well,
time
cool.
for us to check out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll see.
see-
Thanks for having us, Ghost. Pops, good to
Thank
meet
you guys.
Yeah,
For
man.
real.
You bet.
Thank you forever.
And thanks everybody out there for watching. If you want to come check us out, we're at on YouTube at Atomic Annie Music, and we're on X at Atomic Annie OP1. Is there an underscore in there, Mal?
No.
No, so it's just Atomic Annie OP1. Okay. Yeah, and you can follow us on X, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're on Pilled. I can't remember our exact Pilled address. I think
Just
Rumble
Atomic
is also
Annie.
at Atomic Annie Music.
Atomic
Now, Tavian, Kaz is over there in the Pill chat, and he says he wrote software for auction houses.
Oh,
Nice.
sweet.
You see what I'm saying? We're,
Yeah.
we're putting all the pieces together to build the perfect network, right?
Yeah.
And if we keep connecting people, everybody's going to get done what they want to get done. It's wonderful.
Cool.
It's wonderful.
Sounds good.
I'm just a piece in the cogwheel, people. I hope you loved it.
Good times.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
See you guys later.
Yep. Good night.
I'm
Pops.
pressing the button, Pops. I'm pressing it. Damn it. My turn.
Hey. Tavian's
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and